Ladies and gentlemen, the saltiest man in MMA as we speak has a name, and his name is Israel Adesanya. There have been so many moments of his over the past week that have just been adding up. He did an interview with Ariel Helwani that we're going to go through and play some of the clips from there, and there's just other sound bites and moments that I want to show you guys. This man's salt levels are through the roof right now. I don't want to swear yet because I do want this to be monetized. This man's salt levels are through the roof, okay? He is sodium high right now, okay? Dangerous stuff. And this is his reaction to Alex Pereira beating Jamahal Hill, which wasn't just beating Jamahal Hill. It was beating Jamahal Hill, the guy who Israel Adesanya was attempting to coach his way to a win against Alex Pereira, you know? He was on the phone with Jamahal Hill, giving one-to-ones, letting Jamahal Hill pick his brain about the matchup. This is him after Alex Pereira defeated Jamahal Hill, and also accomplished at light heavyweight where Adesanya couldn't accomplish anything. So he has reasons to be salty, but this man's salty as hell. Don't react. Please don't react. Let me make sure I give no reaction. At least look like you've pooed yourself like Ilya. Give us something here, you know? Adesanya freshly KOs his opponent, and you can almost see Usman and the coach want to give a big reaction, but in their back of their mind, they're thinking, but what would Izzy think? I almost can see it on them. Usman and his manager, like, actually in awe about the fight. And they're just looking over like, oh God, should I react hype to this? Should I give this any type of energy? Izzy's not going to be happy with me if I do. Because that's how childish Israel Adesanya is, dude. He's had a lot to say over the past week. But look at Usman here. I'll tell you what this little look is. That little look, that little look that he gave is a true thought look. I know I get a lot into this body language breakdown. If you know, you know. I study people, okay? Look at Usman's little look. His eyes drift off to a space of nothingness for a second. Not where he's looking. That is a look of, oh God, that was fucking sick, but I can't really react like it was. That little look that he gave, look, he's looking, he's all shocked. Watch this little glance. That glance, then a look down immediately afterwards to act like he didn't even have that little look. That is the brain revealing a true thought to him. And that is what the face does when that happens. He gives like, oh shit, damn, that was bad. So anyway, you know what I mean? That's what that look was, but all good. I'm not going to get over the top over a little non-reaction from Israel Adesanya. He's a salty little loser and he can't stand other people's success. We know this. But there's more. This is Israel Adesanya talking about the Alex Pereira fight. And he's saying, or should we compare this first? This is a post someone did comparing Volk's reaction to Holloway to Adesanya's reaction to Pereira. Now, I agree, Holloway's was way more badass, but you can just tell the energy difference between them, you know? This is a healthy reaction from Volk, knowing that he's up on Holloway 3-0, so he can react like this. Who cares? Adesanya knows he's behind 1-3 against Alex Pereira, so he can't have this joyous moment of being above the idea of fighting Pereira in the future and, you know, moving on past it because now it's done to him. You know, if the fight and the rivalry between him and Pereira was truly done to him, he would have no problem reacting happily or excitedly at this performance from Alex Pereira against Jamahal Hill. But as I say that, and I ask myself, you know, if he was truly over it, he'd be happy and he'd be laughing, but it's still something that lives in his head rent-free. There's clips like these going around of Israel Adesanya. Have a listen.
Did you try to say, okay, give me Alex? Because at that point, it was still
Alex,
some rumors.
That's always there. But watch this. If I beat Alex next, fight him, knock him the fuck out again, what are they going to say? Okay, no, it's 3-2. Okay, let's best out of 7.
Right.
Like,
it'd be 2-1 in recent history. But yeah, people would say it's 3-2. They would. I agree with Adesanya there. I absolutely would say. I agree with him there. But Writing off the idea of a trilogy and saying he doesn't need it is insane to me. We'll get to that here in a second as well.
Okay, if I beat Alex next, fight him, knock him the fuck out again, what are they gonna say? Okay, no, it's 3-2. Okay, let's best out of 7.
Right.
Like, who am I fighting for? It wasn't about fighting for anyone else but me. I always fought this guy and I knew I could beat this guy. So I was like, I just want to prove it to myself I can beat him. And I beat him. And
Once. You got to add the word once at the end of that, okay? Okay, just I know I'm being a bit of an annoying guy right now, but we got to add the word once. We have to add that. We have to. That needs to be put into this sentence. At the end of the sentence here from Israel Adesanya, we got to add the word once. Okay? We just got to. We kind of have to. Okay?
in the best way possible on the biggest stage, and the story behind that about showing what someone can accomplish when they put their mind to something, even after they've been knocked down 3 times. That was the main thing. So whatever people want to say, like, oh, well, do this, do that, even for him, you know why they're asking for the fight? Because they need it. You know why I don't ask for the fight? Because I don't need it. And in their hearts, all the poor tards out there, in their hearts, they know who's laughing best. And that's why I sit pretty and I'm enjoying myself. So,
dude, he's enjoying himself so much, guys. He sits pretty and enjoys himself. They need it, not him. That's why he sits pretty and enjoys himself. He just enjoys himself. They need it, not me. I'm beyond that. I'm above it. I've moved past it. These guys need it, not me. Sorry, I can't say that word on YouTube. I've moved beyond it, guys. You know, they need it, not me. I'm sitting happy. I'm so happy right now, guys. Look at Usman. Usman's just sad for him. Like, that's how much there must be this sort of talk behind the scenes. You know? If Usman knew Adesanya had moved on, surely Usman would give a bit more of a reaction here. You know what I mean? Fair play, he just saw Gaethje get slept, to be fair. But I'm just sitting happy. I don't need it. I've moved beyond it now. So he doesn't need the trilogy with Alex Pereira in his mind. And he also sort of writ out a little bit of a roadmap of, I'm going to beat Duplessis, then I'm going to beat Strickland, then Chimaev, and then not that I'm done, but that's his mindset right now. That's the run he wants to go on. And he didn't include Alex Pereira in that run. I think the reason why he didn't include Pereira and doesn't need to feel like he can beat Pereira is because he just needed one. He needed the last word. Israel Adesanya, there's no other way of putting this in any other terms. You're playing with your little cousin on COD, high rise, no scopes, quick scopes, trick shots only, silent knives allowed. You know what I'm saying? High rise. You're doing a 1v1. You're smoking him. Every round of this search and destroy, you're hitting fucking different clips on him. Your YY ladder stall, silent knife, no scoping this guy. It's light work for you. You actually start feeling bad for him. He starts crying in your house. Your mum comes in. Why can't you let him win one? You know what I mean? Like, now I've got to let this fucking guy win. You know, now this is boring for me and now I can't actually enjoy it. You're beating him that badly on the game. Okay? You've won 7 rounds. You know? He wins 1, has his fucking celebration about it, throws the controller down and says, go on, look, let's go out let's pop to the shop or some shit. Yeah, I mean, let's go out on the street for a bit. Let's walk around outside for a bit. I'm done playing games. All of a sudden he's done. Beats you once. You're up 7 fucking rounds on him. You hit every clip known to fucking man. FaZe is ringing you up. They're saying, we need you. We need you right now. We've seen the clip. Don't ask how. We've seen the clips you're hitting on your little cousin. You're mid-negotiation with FaZe Clan. And then your cousin wins 1 game against you, throws the fucking controller down and says, that's it, I'm done. And holds it against you somehow. That's what Adesanya's doing right now. And it's fucking lame. Okay? All good though. You know, if I was Izzy, I wouldn't want to fight Poatan either. 25% success rate. I wouldn't. I wouldn't want to fight someone who had a 25% success rate of beating. It might not be 25%. Either way, we got more clips of Israel Adesanya. This is him, and all of these little clips of him, yeah, are him just like chucking shots, like really snide, like trampy, low-class little low blows to different people that are just succeeding right now. They either succeeded against him or succeeded in their own right. You know, we've got him having to put down Pereira. and give no reaction to the win because he's so over it and he doesn't need it anymore. The rivalry's done to him. It's so done to him he can't even be happy for a win against someone that has nothing to do with him. You know what I mean? We see this one with Dricus du Plessis. He starts harping on him again.
I saw some comments from him on a podcast where he was like, I get to decide when this fight happens. You don't get to decide. Did you see these comments? And
Nah, I don't really follow the guy. He follows me, but I'm like, I guess that's maybe him trying to... I think he's actually a fan.
This is the weirdness of Adesanya's mind. We're going to get into him calling the entire country of Australia racist because they didn't cheer for him against Strickland, by the way. We'll get into that. In his mind, the way he rationalizes someone possibly not liking him, after all of the stuff he's did that I've exposed him for, the way his brain works to rational, he must be a fan. It's like no one can dislike him. Otherwise, there's a greater thing that it comes down to. That's Adesanya's mindset. Insane.
He just has to fight me, but he's actually a fan. He's a big fan.
a fan of yours?
Yeah, of course. I paved the way for him. You know, without me, one of the great African champions, he wouldn't be here. He's the 4th African champion in this game.
Without Adesanya living in New Zealand, training to become an MMA fighter, never training in Africa once. When he lived in Africa, he didn't even start training martial arts. He started in New Zealand. Without Israel Adesanya in New Zealand succeeding in the UFC, Dricus... he wouldn't have even started MMA, you guys. I'm telling you. This guy, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, Dricus was in South Africa like, you know, I was going to play rugby, but this guy showed me, this guy in New Zealand, Israel Adesanya showed me the way, so I thought I'd give it a go, you know? And insanely, that's Adesanya's belief. Well, I was gonna play rugby, but this guy in New Zealand, South Africa, New Zealand, Israel Adesanya, he showed me the path, and I'll go for it. Insane. The Israel Adesanya. It's all good though. This is how he has to. This is the coping. He's not the man anymore. There's a cope here. There's a salt that's flowing through him. It's all good though. Dricus du Plessis, who by the time Adesanya had burst on the scene, was already making his own way in MMA. Dricus had a long career before the UFC. You know what I mean? He was already making his own way in MMA. But no, Adesanya paved the way for him. It's all good. It's all good. I don't know how Adesanya paved the way. I don't know if Dricus thought, well, this guy in New Zealand could do it, so now I can do it in Africa. I don't know how he thinks that's true. It's all good, though.
So kudos to him. So we paved the way for him. So he's a fan. He's a fan of what we've done.
He's a fan of what we've done and the licking of the lips that he always does, because that's what he does whenever he thinks he's delivered a line. Whenever Adesanya thinks he's delivered a line, there's always some tick that he does. It's the lick of the lips, or it's the wrist thing that he does. If anyone's noticed him doing that at press conferences, he'll shake his head and do this thing with his wrist where his microphone's in his hand. There's a few little tells that he has. But that's all good, though. Usman training and competing in the US, becoming a champion out of the USA. Ngannou training, competing out of France and the US, becoming a champion out of the USA. And Israel Adesanya training and competing in New Zealand and becoming a champion from New Zealand. They paved the way for Dricus to believe he could do it in Africa. That's the belief system here. All good. There's more. This is the Australia thing that he was doing with Sean Strickland. Have a listen.
That was that one. Strickland one was his moment as well. It was just his moment again. And I said this on Theo Vaughn's podcast. You just have to realize, it was something Dave Chappelle said on this fucking special.
Now, this is something Adesanya does. He'll say something where it's just like, oh, that's actually pretty acceptable. So his fans can just take that and say, he said he didn't have an excuse. He said it was just Strickland's moment. Why are you guys acting like he's denying the loss or coping about something or not accepting defeat? He'll say something, and then if he ended it right there, you'd go like, damn, man, that's pretty mature of him. It was just Strickland's moment in Australia. That's why people were cheering for him. then he can't help himself but continue.
The closer, I think. I can't remember. But pretty much you have to know when it's your moment, and you have to also be humble enough to know when it's someone else's moment. And that was his moment. The fight week, everything was just like lined up for him, and that was his moment.
That was his moment. That's why they were cheering for him. That's why he succeeded. One question from Ariel Hawani later.
Shocked at the reception for him in Australia.
Nah, they're racist.
The whole country's racist. But it's just like, dude, that didn't take long. That did not take long to just switch on a fucking dime like that. That is insane. The brain that this guy has operates on truly a different level I've ever seen before. I cannot believe the way this guy's brain computes. All of that he just said, we could have left it there. Oh, that's actually really mature of Adesanya to move on and just accept that, Strickland was the star that time. He came along, it was his moment, it was his week, it was his fight week, he owned all of it. And why do you think they gave you that reception? They're all fucking racist anyway. It's just like, okay, all right, never mind then. The whole country of Australia is racist because they refuse to cheer for a dog fiddling creep. I've seen that dog stuff circulating around Twitter since Pereira's win. Pereira fans are going boots on the ground with their propaganda tactics now against Adesanya. Not propaganda though, is it? Mr. follows a fetish page on Twitter for dog-related PORN. Couldn't possibly be that came out on your fight week. I don't know what genius rumbled that bit of news, but whoever he is, he must be a Chad, okay? Couldn't possibly be that someone has a reason to dislike you. Nope, they are racist. They are at fault. How could they not embrace me as a dog fiddler, is what Adesanya is saying right now. Insanity.
Yeah.
That's what you felt it was?
Yeah, no, just also, I think it's just me and them, and I don't know. It wasn't my week. It was just him, and he's
Forget it, McGregor. I ain't even sitting through this advert. That is insane, though. It was also me and them and his week, but they're all racist, by the way. Every single one of them. That's why they weren't cheering for me. Botched. You know what I mean? I don't understand how this guy's brain works, but if he pulls it off, there's no mindset for MMA that makes any sense. Anything a sports psychologist has told you, anything along any of those lines, bullshit. Anything you've read about mindset for sports and mindsets for maturing as a human being, Adesanya denies all of it. He denies all logic of all psychological studies done for combat sports and sports in general. Worst mindset you can have. This is him, again, after just doing that. This is literally seconds later. But this is a clip of him talking about Sean Strickland as well. Right after he said, fuck the belt, by the way. There was a moment before this where he went, fuck the belt. It doesn't even mean anything anyway. And then look.
Look at Strickland. He fucking got offered apparently $200K to fight Costa after being the champ. But again, what a reign. Amazing. Look at Strickland.
Just mocking Sean Strickland's title reign. I'm going to tell you this right now. I've rewatched Strickland Duplessis a lot. If Strickland was Adesanya, he wins that fight, So that's really rich coming from him. Because he's had a few of those fights in his title reigns. Where, it's close, give it to the champ. Where that has been a rule that I've disagreed with massively, and I still disagree with it. The intricate winner should be the winner of the fight, no matter how minute the lead that they had on their opponent was. They should be declared the winner of the fight. But, not all of us just get all the close decisions like you against Romero when Romero arguably won. Or you against Whittaker in the rematch where Whittaker arguably won. You just get given them with a 49-46 scorecard. You know what I mean? Not every guy gets that luxury, Adesanya. Maybe Strickland's reign would have been a bit longer if he was you. You know what I mean? It's kind of insane. I thought Whittaker beat Adesanya and Romero beat Adesanya more clearly than Strickland beat Duplessis in people's minds. They don't get given it. No, just give it to the champ unless Strickland's champ. It's kind of a weird one, so it's weird to sort of harp on that when we've seen his career. And then there's this other stuff, dude. This is why it's gonna really rile up Africa. If they do this fight in Africa, this is gonna rile things up over there, I do believe. This is Adesanya talking about Dricus.
I would have loved to do this. Hopefully, we'll see. We'll see what happens. There's nothing signed yet. Nothing's been offered. There's only rumors.
Sure.
Rumors. That's the thing. Oh, this and that. Look, I don't have to headline a fucking perf. Alex is there. Dan's there. You know, some of us can headline it. But I'm like, yeah, we'll see.
If it happened in South Africa, would you be okay with that?
Of course. That's my people.
It's his people in South Africa. Is it though? I'm not a geography wizard here, but I've played GeoGuessr a few times. I'll be real with you guys. I've been bored at school, and I've played a bit of GeoGuessr on a school computer. And I kind of noticed Nigeria is not really anywhere near South Africa. You know? I couldn't help but notice that. It's kind of like very far away. I've flown there, so I actually know. I've looked at the flight map going over Nigeria to get to South Africa from the UK. It was a long time. So I don't know what this his people thing is, but interesting topic to discuss.
Know that for a fact.
You think you'd get cheered more than him?
I don't care about cheers.
Okay.
Well, then there you go. There you go. But when he doesn't get cheers in Australia, the entire country is racist. But look at this. Right one after another. The way this guy's brain works in like contradicting himself on a second's notice is insane. Listen.
If it happened in South Africa, would you be okay with that?
Of course. That's my people.
Of course I'd be okay with it in South Africa. That's they're my people over there.
Our piano. That's my people.
That's my people. You know? That's his people over there. Of course he'd love to fight there.
I bet you they're my people. I know that for a fact.
I bet you they're my people. As in, he bets you that they're going to like him more than Dricus because they're his people. That's what I bet you they're my people is. And then...
Get cheered more than him?
Do you think you'd get cheered more than him? No. Trust me, I was in South Africa. They're very Dricus fan base heavy over there. Extremely South Africa first. I would describe South Africa as a lot of them, especially the combat sports fans. I mean, I went to EFC over there, and all of them are just the South African guy comes up to fight at EFC, the place goes insane. Don't matter who they are, if you know what I'm saying. If they're repping South Africa, they're getting a massive cheer. A massive cheer.
I don't care about cheers.
Okay.
I don't care about cheers. Okay, because he knows if he went there, they'd boo him. They would boo him and cheer Dricus. They would absolutely boo Adesanya over there. They would.
My people. When I go there, when I touch South Africa, they're my people. Trust me. Like, you'll see. When I go to South Africa, I'm more in touch with the culture in South Africa than he is. I can guarantee you that.
Okay. How do you know that? I mean, that's where he's from specifically, right?
Yeah, the people, they tell me. The people know. I go there, I can... Not even the language, it's body language, the dances, the vibes. When I'm there, they'll know. And they tell me, like, I'm their people.
This is just racial things, babe. He's dancing around it with I'm their people, you know? But you know what he wants? Right beneath the surface is a hatred brewing within Israel Adesanya here. We've seen other moments of the way he describes Dricus and the words that he says to him. Scratch a little below the surface, there's something there. There's a real hatred. And he's holding back with, you know, they're my people, the body language. Because, of course, how to fit in Nigeria, how to understand the culture. Walk through with painted nails. Declare your sexual dog fetish, and you'll fit right in, according to Adam. Dude, I don't know, dude. When Adesanya went to Nigeria, there's a whole story about it. He hired an entire security personnel with guns to militarily escort him through the hood of Nigeria while flexing on all of the people there that didn't like the look of him. I don't know if anyone remembers that story that he told on JRE when he went back to Nigeria for the first time. and he took an entire security personnel because they looked at him funny as he was walking around. So he took an entire troop with him with guns to just intimidate the hood over there and walk through it with his belt. Like, that don't sound like man of the people talk, in my opinion. But all good. And then there's this. I just thought I'd play at the end.
I beat that guy one time.
Dude, if he comes back and wins, it would be one of the most epic stories ever, I'll be honest. Even if you aren't an Adesanya fan, the fact that this mindset can succeed is insane. It is insane. Some of the contingencies this guy has and some of the ways out of addressing things, and it is insane to me. But I thought I'd cover it because he's been having a bit of a... I mean, how do I just... He's had a bit of a meltdown tour, is basically what all of these clips add up to be. He's had a meltdown tour over the past week because, what do you know, Pereira's main eventing and winning by KO in arguably the biggest UFC event of all time and succeeding at light heavyweight while doing it. So this guy is just not in a happy mood, it seems like. So we'll see. We'll get the fight between him and Dricus. I do think Dricus is going to win, but I think if Dricus fights him like he fought Strickland, Adesanya's probably going to win. But I know Dricus will probably not fight him like he fought Strickland. There's ways to approach every fight, of course. It's a very close fight, though. And we'll see what happens in August, dude. We'll see if this mindset prevails in MMA. Because if it does, that's insane to me. You know? Insane. Not wanting a trilogy with Pereira because he's moved on past it. Because he's moved on and he's over it. Not wanting a trilogy with Pereira. The difference between him and Volk's reaction. He paved the way for Duplessis. So Duplessis was thinking, I was going to play rugby, but this guy in New Zealand, Israel Adesanya, succeeds. So I thought I'd give it a go, eh? And there's no way Dricus Duplessis saw Adesanya in New Zealand and thought, I can do it too. There's no way. And then McGregor advert, well, obviously Adesanya calling the whole of Australia racist, mocking Strickland for his reign. I mean, this guy's just on he's doing my job. I'm supposed to be hating on everyone. This guy's taking my job right now. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Toodle Pip, I'll see you later. Goodbye.
I beat that guy one time.